I found out my wife of 8 years is actually my sister. Throwaway, obviously. I found out recently that my wife is actually my sister, full-blooded. We look nothing alike, so neither of us had any idea whatsoever. I was adopted at birth. My bio mom was too young to have a kid, and my aunt and her husband adopted me. I grew up knowing that my cousin was actually my mom, but I never really cared. My mom is my mom. My cousin never really wanted to interact with me, and I never wanted to with her either. When I was old enough, I understood that she was just too young, and it probably hurt her to see me and not be able to be my mom. While I didn't understand at the time, I stopped seeing her at around 9 years old. My parents aren't close with mom's side of the family anyway. They're a bunch of ashholes, so it wasn't hard to cut them out. Turns out my bio mom had another baby with my bio dad several years after me. Probably some stupid drunken thing. I don't know how. Like me, she too was adopted. Catholic Church doesn't exactly like abortion or contraception, and my extended family are all Catholic. My parents never knew about this new baby. I don't know if the rest of my family did or not. I met my wife in my late 20s when she was in her early 20s. I'd never had such an effortless conversation with anyone in my whole life. Everything just flowed perfectly, and we were incredibly drawn to each other, despite the age gap. Ironically, one thing that drew us together was the fact we were both adopted. I'd never felt such a strong sexual attraction to anyone as much as I did to her. She felt the same way, and things escalated very quickly between us. Wasn't long until we were practically joined at the hip. We met each other's parents, friends, and everything went perfectly normally. After a few months, we moved in together. I proposed on our 1-year anniversary, and we've been married for 8 years now without any issue. We have 2 kids together and are planning for our 3rd and final child. This is where things go downhill. Apparently, my bio grandmother died, and it made my cousin want to reach out. Apparently, she didn't want regrets. It was significantly easier for her to find me, since she knew who I was, as you can imagine. I met with her to be polite, but made it clear that she wasn't my mom. My mom is. I was happy to have a relationship with her, but I doubt she'd get what she wanted out of it. This was when she told me I had a sister and that she wanted us to be a family. I was interested in meeting my sister, but not in my cousin being my mom. She had over 30 years to try and be my mom. It's simply too late. She's my cousin, and that's it. She wasn't happy about this and basically went no contact with me again, only sending very sparse and basic messages to me. I didn't really care, tbh. A few months later, my wife received a message from someone claiming to be her birth father. She wasn't sure she wanted to meet with him, but I encouraged her to because he claimed he had no idea she existed, and now he does. He wants to see her. She agreed to meet, but only if I could come too. He was happy with that, as he said he wanted to meet me too. When we met with him, we talked for a while. He was a nice guy, to be honest, and seemed to sincerely want to a part in our and our children's lives. He mentioned he had another child when he was very young, with my wife's mother, but never tried to find him, and it was something he regretted. He didn't want to make the same mistake with his daughter too. Our faces both went white as a sheet. I quickly contacted my cousin over my bio dad's name. She did one up and sent me an old picture of them together as kids, while they were very young. And it's him. There's no doubt at all. The timeline matches up, the faces match, and his name matches too. My wife is actually my little sister. We were both afraid of what this meant for us and our future, but all I can say is she's my wife and nothing will change that. I know it's sick and wrong, but I just can't see her as anything other than my partner, my wife, my lover, and the mother of my babies.